Good morning. Actually, I think it's afternoon. So good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to the Everyday Home. I am going to go outside and use my little new tool here. We are in gardening season officially. I've gotten actually a couple things in the ground. Today, I was going to go and get my onion starts put in the ground, but it looks like it's actually maybe spitting rain, which isn't really a problem. Well, here's my onion starts patiently waiting. I actually got those from Dixondale Farm. I think it's been about 2 weeks now, and they are perfectly fine sitting here. They do need to get planted sooner than later, so that's going to be on this week's agenda. And we are having a yard sale this weekend, so our garage is full of stuff right now. And these guys are officially moved out into the garage. They're actually going to get moved outside probably next week because they're pretty much all feathered out. And this thing is getting a little bit too small for them. But I just want to give them another week in here before I put them outside. I might need a sweater out here. It's kind of chilly. Last week we had beautiful, beautiful weather. And then come Sunday, we had some huge storms roll in. We were actually supposed to get tornadoes here, but we didn't get anything here. Thank goodness. We didn't even get any wind damage, which was really, really nice. Anyways, it brought in a huge, huge cold snap where it went down into the 20s. And killed pretty much all of our vegetation, like our peach tree. That was in full bloom, and unfortunately I don't think it made it. But we are on the last day of it being cold, and this weekend it's actually supposed to get back up to 85. So I'm gonna get my onions planted because they can actually handle a little bit of frost, because it looks like we do have some more cold weather coming back in a couple of weeks. We're in that up and down time right now, but I wanna check my pH level. I want to check it in this bed because this is the bed where I'm going to be planting my onions. I just got this tool at Goodwill and I'm curious to see how it works. And I'm going to try to do this quickly because it's starting to rain. Okay, so we got it turned on and it says just to stick it in like this. Pulling stuff out of here. I have carrots in here still that I didn't get out. I do not think this is working. I don't know, that's weird. It's turning on, but it says to put it in an angle. Oh, there we go, 7.3, 8.6, 7.3. Looks like it's reading at 7. Let's check this bed and see. Clean the dirt off the bottom of it. Check and see. 8.7, 6.2, 5.8. Ooh, we're dropping. 5.6. So this bed is reading at 5.6 pH. I'm going to double check and see what my onions need, see what I need to amend this with before I get the onions in. Normally my street is not that busy, but it seems like the second I come outside and turn this camera on, everyone in our town has to come down our quiet little backcountry road. It's actually not really a quiet backcountry road. It's kind of a road that goes through to another major road. Oh no. I just bought some figs and I put them in here and that cold killed the vegetation. I'm hoping it didn't kill the roots. I don't know. I purposely did not plant them because I knew we were getting that cold weather. That's okay. As long as the roots are okay, fingers crossed. This one does not look very happy either. Strawberry plants that I have in here did pretty good. I had one that actually had flowers on it. I'm just trying to find it. Yes! It's this one. This is a testament that strawberries can really handle some good weather because we had, like I said, we had lows in the 20s and these are getting little baby strawberries on them. These are just runners that I pulled that I wanted to try to save to replant in another area. And I just picked the runners off and put them in some dirt and now they've all rooted. I have a whole bunch of new strawberry plants. I really want to show you some of the garden, but it is actually really chilly out. The wind is really cold and it is kind of drizzling out there. We'll go back inside. Tomorrow is my onion planting day. Got some horseradish coming up in here. And we just planted some more raspberry plants. These are a yellow raspberry that I got from Stark Bros. And I just planted them in here. And I have another 3 coming this week as well that we'll put in here. Those were fine during the cold because raspberries are hardy. And these are red raspberries. They're all coming up. So we've been really busy with this garden. We have decided to kind of expand it a little bit. I wanted to get some beds put underneath my arches. Last year I just did pots and the stuff in it didn't do very well. So I decided to put some raised beds at the bottom. I have to do raised beds here because this is all like really rocky soil and I can't dig too far in it, but the roots can still get into it because it's still good soil. I still need to actually get out here and weed all of this area. I need to weed here and weed there. My garlic is looking good. It handled that frost no problem. It's looking really healthy. So these 3 rows are all different types of garlic and these will be harvestable in July. And then these 3 beds are my strawberries, which will be very active very soon. We usually get strawberries in May here. Okay, I'm inside now. It's a little chilly out there. I am so ready for spring. The other thing that I'm going to get planted tomorrow is I have some broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. We actually went out to our local Amish, the greenhouses out there. I was able to pick up some of my broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. I got some kohlrabi. I got a couple of little different herbs, like I got my stevia. When I got rosemary out there. So I did film a little bit and I want to show you guys what our greenhouses are like. They opened up 2 weeks ago. I am planning on actually going back this week because I want to pick up some blackberry bushes because we're going to expand our blackberries. Our goal this year is to get a lot of perennials in. So like berry plants, strawberries, blackberries, things that we really love to eat that are very expensive in the grocery store. I really want to try to focus on having that growing on our homestead so I don't have to rely on the grocery store for that. I have just this year felt a very strong urge to expand my garden. I got all my tomatoes up potted, so they are looking good. This variety is, I don't know, it's a paste tomato. I'll leave it at the bottom. I can never pronounce it. Last year I couldn't pronounce it either. But these are all my tomatoes. And just making sure that they're looking okay. They're actually not looking like the best shape. I wonder if maybe I overwatered them? Leaves aren't looking super happy. What's going on? Some of my Amish pastes are not looking like they're in the best shape. I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on them. These are some that I started. This is some arugula. So I'm going to get this put outside also because arugula does really well in cooler weather. So I'm really excited to get in the garden, get my hands dirty, and get stuff growing. But speaking of dirty hands, I've run out of my hand wash that I use for my really dirty dirt manicures. Because this time of year, I am constantly in the dirt. I am not the type of person that really wears gardening gloves. I like to just get in there, and unfortunately what happens is your fingernails get very dirty. Also, Stephen works on cars all the time, so he has really dirty mechanic hands all the time, and this hand scrub that I make works amazing for getting grease off of your hands, just really dirty hands. It's called the Gardener's Hardcore Hand Scrub. I think I found this recipe on Instagram years and years ago. It is very similar to that stuff that you can find in the automotive section of the store. I think it's called like orange scrub or something. I don't know. The package is orange and black. Anyways, this works, I find, better, and it's a non-toxic hand scrub. So I'm going to get my stuff redone today because we're going to be in the garden and my hands are getting really mucky and I'm missing my gardening scrub. So I'm going to show you guys how to make that today. And then if I have time, I'm going to do a recipe that I've actually already showed you guys. I'll leave the video here linked for you, but it is a Pomona's blueberry maple preserve. This stuff is amazing. I run out of it a long time ago. I have some blueberries in my freezer that are starting to get a little bit of freezer burn. So I'm going to restock that and get some of this on my pantry shelf because I love this jam. I remember last time I made it, a couple of you guys asked if you could use honey instead of maple in this, and you definitely can. You do not need to use maple in this. I just like the maple and the blueberry together. It tastes really good together. But if you are not a fan of maple or you have allergies, you can use honey in this. You can use a stevia replacement. You could use regular sugar in this if you want. Because I'm going to be using a Pomona's pectin in this, it does not require any sugar to can at all. So you don't even have to add sugar if you don't want to, or a sweetener. Like I said, I'll leave that video linked for you guys where I go into depth on how I make this, and I'll leave that recipe linked below. I believe it's actually on the Pomona's website, so if I can find it, again, I'll leave it linked for you. So let's get started on making our hand scrub. What do we need? We need coconut oil, castile soap. I'm going to get the castile soap now. Keep it in my laundry room cabinet. Find it hiding in here. Okay, so we have a couple of different options we can use for it. We can use this hemp rose one. It's just a scented one. You can use like a tea tree one if you want. The one that I really, really like using is the almond one. You could just use any castile soap. It does not have to be a special scented one. I just like it because it makes it kind of more of a fancy hand scrub. Makes me feel like I'm using that mall brand stuff without the toxins. Now this is a sugar hand scrub, so I'm going to be using some sugar for this. Now I use a organic cane sugar, and I use, I forget what the variety is called. I order it on Sam's Club, like on their online option. You can't actually get it at the store. I know Azure sells it as well. But this is the new batch, and look at how much darker it is than their older batch. This is the exact same company, just different batches of sugar. I have gotten, I think, 6 bags because I'm restocking my pantry right now. Again, with expanding the garden, I'm really focusing on making sure our pantry is really good and stocked right now, while groceries are somewhat of an okay price. This was actually on sale on samsclub.com as well. I think it's called Wholesome. I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, because I am using the organic stuff, it is a very, very coarse sugar. If you don't have the organic sugar, another really good option to use is like a raw cane sugar, because it is a little bit more coarser. You can use a regular white sugar if you want. It's just not going to be as coarse as the organic stuff. You kind of, in this situation, actually want the sugar to be more coarse because it really helps at getting that grit out of your hands and out of your fingernails and stuff. You can use whatever essential oils you like your favorite scents. I am going to use some of the ones that are recommended on this, plus a couple of extra ones. So this one recommends to use rosemary, peppermint, and tea tree. So we'll get those ones out. We have tea tree. I just get my tea tree oil at Trader Joe's. I've just found that that's the most cost efficient place to get it. And then my other stuff, I got this one. This is the rosemary stuff. That lighting is really bad. What is going on? There we go. This is the rosemary stuff. I just got this on Amazon. I need peppermint. I like to use orange in it because, again, I'm trying to make it like that stuff that Steven used to buy in the automotive part of Walmart. We need to get our coconut oil melted. So we're just going to do it the easy way, and we're going to put it in the microwave. And I'm going to double this recipe as well. So the original recipe says to add a 1/4 cup of coconut oil and melt it. So we're going to put in a 1/2 cup. I find that doubling the recipe fills this little container. And I think I just got this container at the Dollar Tree. So it wasn't expensive, or at Goodwill. It's either one of them. It's been so cold that my coconut oil is rock hard. I'm just going to eyeball some of these things. This is definitely a little bit over 1/2 cup, but this is not a recipe that requires exact measurements. So you can eyeball it if you want. You don't need to measure it out. Let's put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. You just want it to be complete liquid. Okay, that is completely melted. And so you want to add equal parts of the castile soap to the coconut oil. So we added in 1/2 cup of coconut oil. We're going to add in 1/2 cup of the castile soap. All right, and then to this bowl, we need to add 2 cups of sugar. So the original recipe just says 1 cup of sugar. So we're going to add in 2 cups. Probably should just get a 1 cup measuring. And again, the coarser the sugar, the better. And then we are going to stir this all together. Maybe I didn't double it last time, because this looks like a lot. I should leave a note on my recipe. If this doubling fits in here, then I will leave a note to double it. But I'm thinking maybe I didn't double it last time. That's fine. I can put one in my downstairs bathroom and my upstairs bathroom, or one at my kitchen sink. It's probably the better options, the kitchen sink and the bathroom downstairs. We have this all mixed together. We're gonna let this cool down for, I would say, maybe like 10-15 minutes. You wanna let it cool down because you do not wanna add essential oils to the heat, because then it takes away the benefits of the essential oil. So you wanna let that just come down a little bit more. And then once that is cooled, we will whip this up. I'm gonna use this to whip it up because it makes it nice and fluffy and just creamy almost. It really, you could almost just eat it, but wouldn't recommend eating it because the castile soap. It would not taste as good as it smells, that's for sure. I think what we'll do while we're waiting for this to cool, because I do not need an oven to do any more of that, and we will get everything out to make this preserve. I can get that project done, and then tomorrow I just have to worry about having a big gardening day, which will be very, very exciting. We're gonna get our calcium water made. Just refer to the package on how to make the calcium water. I actually am referring to the package because I can't remember. It's been a while since I made jam. Half a teaspoon of calcium powder to half a cup of water. And we gotta give it a good shake and set it aside. I'm gonna get our water heated up, put our jars in it. I'm gonna can these in 1/2 pint jars. That's what I like to do for my jam. This water is really cloudy for some reason. I don't know why. Normally our water is not like that. Get this turned on. If you add a touch bit of vinegar to your water, it helps the jars come out a little bit cleaner. But I know the camera doesn't really make the water look really cloudy, but it is, it's weird. Touch bit of vinegar in there. On the lids. We are going to double this recipe because I know I love this recipe, and last time I made this single recipe, I think it only made like 2 or 3 jars, and that was not enough. I blew through that very, very quickly. So we're going to measure our blueberries. It says you need 2 1/4 pounds of blueberries. I'm going to use frozen blueberries. You can use fresh if you have them. But like I said, these are starting to get freezer burned, so we want to get them used up so they're not wasted. Okay, so we need 4 1/2 pounds. Hope this bowl is big enough. I have another huge bag of blueberries in my freezer if this is not going to be enough. So that's 3 pounds. I'm going to go and get the other bag out of the freezer. Okay, got the other bag. So many blueberries. I love blueberries on my pancakes, and just in general, I love blueberries. I always have a good stock of them. You could do this recipe with blackberries as well, or raspberries, or strawberries. This year I am planning on making a lot of jams. I have gone through so much jam this winter that I realized that strawberry, raspberry, and this blueberry maple jam, my favorite, and I love them. Love, love them. I have a heavy bottom stock pot here. It's about a medium-sized stock pot. So we're gonna add our blueberries in here. Oh, I guess I just could have measured them in the pot. That would have also worked a lot easier than doing that. Luckily, we only lost one. The recipe says 1/4 cup. We're going to add, no, the recipe says 1/4 cup, so we're going to add 1/2 cup. I almost just put a full cup of water in there. Okay, and you could even go less water because I'm using frozen, and there's a whole bunch of like ice crystals in here, so that'll add water as well. So we're going to add 1/2 cup of water to this and bring this up to a boil. Get my jam making spoon out. This is an extra long spoon that I use for jam, so it does not burn my skin when it starts to boil. I'm just going to stir this a little bit. Kind of have some clumps of blueberries. This is going to take a minute to boil because these are frozen, and we want them to get nice and soft and start to release their juices. So we're going to get the pectin and maple sugar mixture already. So for this recipe, I'm going to use 1 1/2 cups of maple syrup. Again, I'm doubling this. And you do not need to use sugar if you do not want to, or you can use whatever sweetener you like. I'm telling you, if you like maple syrup, this recipe is amazing. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of pectin to this maple syrup because it originally calls for 1 1/2. Save this pectin. Then we'll stir this maple syrup and pectin together. and set it aside until we need it. This just helps get all of the pectin throughout the sugar so that when you add it, you don't really get clumps of it. Mind you, I have clumps in here right now. I wanted to also let you know, I checked the pH for the onions, what you need to grow them, and it says onions like a pH level of 6 to 6.5. So what I have to do in that garden bed, because I actually added some peat moss to that bed to kind of help with the clay soil. It really helps kind of fluff up the soil a little bit. So because I added the peat moss, that is probably why that pH level is running at that. So what we need to do is add some garden lime to that garden bed, and that will help increase the pH level to that 6.5 that you want. And with onions, they are very, very, very particular. I want to have nice, big, huge onions because that will last me longer. So I definitely want to try to get that pH level up. I think I paid like 99 cents or something for that pH tester. Was that Goodwill? I thought that would be cool to have. I've never tested my pH before. I've never actually tested my soil before. Probably would be worthwhile, especially being that we're expanding the garden, just to test it out and see what our garden's running at, just to see what kind of amendments I need to put in it, because I really, really, really need a good tomato harvest this year. Like desperately need a good tomato harvest. I do not have a lot of tomato products. So this is starting to melt a little bit. You want it to get soft and get those blueberries to start kind of releasing some of their juices. I'm actually going to come back here and grab my really big pot, because once that jam starts to boil, it starts to spit up everywhere, and I don't want to have a small pot to do it in. So we're going to get this pot, and then that way if it does splash up, it's not going to be burning me as much and not making a huge mess in my kitchen, which is probably the most important thing, because blueberry likes to stain. Now I'm concerned about those tomato plants. It's only the Amish paste variety that's doing that. It's really weird. This stuff's cooled down a little bit, so let's finish making this while we're waiting for those blueberries. You do not need a hand mixer to do this. You can stir this like crazy with a wooden spoon. I just find that the hand mixer gets it nice and fluffy. Creamy now, so we're going to add our essential oils. Again, this is completely customizable. You do not need to add what I'm adding. So we're going to do 10 drops of rosemary. I'm going to do 10 drops of this orange. I'm going to maybe only do about 5 drops of the peppermint oil. Maybe, no, we'll do 10. Okay, and then 10 drops of the tea tree oil. So the only thing I do not like about these Trader Joe's ones is that it's just a pour top. So what I usually end up doing is just putting a little bit in the lid. And did I say 10 drops? I meant 5 drops. That should be good. Tea tree oil, a little bit goes a very long way. It is very, very potent. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix this all in again. Get our container. And then we will just pour this into our container. I did not double it last time. Okay, well, that's good to know. I'm going to leave a note. There we go. There's our hand scrub. I cannot recommend this enough, especially if somebody in your family is a mechanic. Steven swears by this stuff. It works so good. Right, so I got that other one put into my bathroom sink. I have another one of these jars. We're gonna put the rest of this stuff in this jar, and blueberries are actually boiling right now, so we're just going to turn the heat off because they are nice and soft. I could hear that stuff boiling while I was filling that other jar up. So it boiled for about 2 minutes. One thing that I do have to say about this hand soap, we go through a lot of this stuff, but if you are not going to be going through a lot of it, do not double it. And I would almost recommend halving the recipe, because it does harden. Like over time, because you're constantly putting wet hands into it, it does harden over time. So I would say make this in smaller batches. The only reason I doubled it is because I know that both me and Steven are going to have very, very dirty hands the next coming week, because he has a couple of car projects that he wants to get done also. So I know we're going to use a lot of this. So like I said, do not double it if you are going to be not using it a lot, because it does harden. Okay, so the recipe says to measure out 4 cups of these blueberries and put them into a saucepan. So we're gonna measure 8 cups. Hopefully we'll have 8. We actually just had a touch over 8 cups. This on the stove. clean up my mess. Managed to get it everywhere. I'm gonna give my calcium water a really good shake because we're gonna add 3 teaspoons to here. The recipe says 1/4 cup of lemon juice, so we're gonna add 1/2 cup of lemon juice. And I'm using bottled lemon juice so that I have my 5% acidity. The recipe actually does specify bottled. We'll add that in there. And then we'll bring this back up to a boil. It'll come to a boil pretty quick because these berries are already hot. I'm just gonna stir that calcium water and lemon juice into this mixture. Again, this pot is a little overkill for this small amount, but I tell you, once it starts boiling, you'll want a higher pot because it will boil over and it'll just make a big mess. I'm gonna put the rest of this calcium water in the fridge. You can reuse this calcium water. I actually think I got some blackberries in the freezer that also are getting freezer burn that I need to use. Trying to get all my berries used up because sooner than later we're going to be in berry season and I do not want to have a whole bunch of last year's berries in there. So I need to get them cleared out. These jars are boiling now. So I'm going to turn the heat down to a super low heat and just let them stay warm in there. Because we're making a warm jam, we need to have those jars warm. Everything needs to be on the exact same temperature. Water needs to be warm as well. I'm just going to kind of keep stirring it. It is boiling now, but I want it to be like at a really aggressive boil. It's just a light boil, and I am so sorry. It is very difficult to see. This pot is so big. As soon as I stir it, it kind of calms down a little bit, so I know that that's not quite where I need it to be. I need it to be at a point where it will not stir down. Pretty aggressively boiling, so we're going to add in our maple syrup and pectin mixture. We're going to get this stirred in and bring it back to another boil. And then we want to boil this for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to link the video for you guys, but I'm pretty much showing you the step-by-step process. Remember last time I made this, I was so worried that it wasn't going to set up, and it actually ended up setting up really, really well. So I just have to remember that, not to get scared if it's too runny right now. I'm going to get our jars out right now so that they're ready to have this jam poured into. It's boiling good. I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes and continue to stir it because I don't want it to burn on the bottom. Hopefully we'll use all of these jars, but I don't think we'll need this many. I put 12 in here. It is spitting up everywhere. I'm so glad I used this big pot. I just got this pot at IKEA. I love it. And this spoon, I actually picked up at a yard sale, I think like 10 years ago. It is my favorite jam making spoon because it is so long. I don't burn my hands. Okay, so we have that off the heat. I'm gonna get these funneled into these jars. Right, we need to leave a 1/4 inch headspace with this. One thing I love about this is that the blueberries stay like really big. I love it. That's why it's called a preserve and not really like a jelly. I would also recommend not using a spoon that you really, really love because it does dye the spoon. This is after I've washed the spoon. It is a nice, gorgeous blue color. Actually, it's purple. Use a spoon that you don't care to dye. It definitely set. It is already setting up in here. So this is just a little bit that didn't fit in the jar. I'm going to quickly debubble these. And then we'll clean the tops of them, get the lids on, and get these in the canner. I already did a quick wipe of them, but this is just like a going over it once more. Put the lids on. Re-clean that one. Put the lid in it by accident. These jars are very hot. We're going to get our rings on to fingertip tight. And put into the water bath canner. I'm going to turn this water back up again to a boil. And then we need to water bath these for 10 minutes. But I'm not going to start the timer until this water bath canner gets to a full rolling boil, like a really, really aggressive boil. We got 10 jars. Yay! Awesome. This is one of my favorite jam recipes. Excited to get it back onto the pantry shelf. Also very excited to be hopefully very soon in berry season. I think we're at a full boil. Yep, we are. Start the timer for 10 minutes. So while we're waiting for those to finish in the canner, I am going to actually include a little clip of when we went to the greenhouses. So fun. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be going back again this week, and I will try to film a little bit more there for you guys. Anyways, here's that clip, and then when we get back, we'll be taking that delicious preserve out of the water bath canner. We're at my favorite place. We're at the garden center. I'm excited. I want to look over here for some raspberries, and then in here for the broccoli and the cauliflower, and see what else they have. There's a certain tree I'm actually looking. Look at the bee. The bees are out. This tree is fun. What is this? Snow fountain. Lots of bees. I don't know what that is. That's not labeled. A weeping mulberry, but this one isn't labeled. I've never seen anything like that. I want to look for some more yellow or white, yellow raspberries, and potentially a fig tree. Ooh, that's pretty. What is that? Is that a magnolia?
Magnolia.
Oh. That's what you really want, right? Cut that Bradford pear tree down. These are blackberries. I want to potentially get a fig tree. I've heard it's really good for our area. Oh, here's raspberries. Nope, still blackberries. That's the price. And these are gallon-sized containers. It's a really good price for those. So these are the figs. They are in 2-gallon size pots, and they are $13.75. This is the variety. If I get them, I would want to get a couple of them. And this one looks like it has little buds on it, so that's a good one. Oh, this one has leaves. That one's even better. Found the yellow raspberries. I don't know how much they are though. There's no price on them. This one's good. It's got little buds in it already. Grapes. Seedless grapes. Ooh. Love this time of year. Steven found this one. It's $40. It's a 5-in-1 apple tree. Grow your own orchard in a single tree.
Yeah.
Grafting it. It's got all these leaves on it.
Oh, it's been grafted.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got one tree on it right here, and then somebody grafted.
That's kind of cool, and it's pretty healthy.
Someone grafted on another tree.
That's really cool. How much was that?
$4. Somebody grafted a bunch of different trees on it.
We are looking for a couple of more trees for our front.
Oh, it's getting ready to bloom.
Yeah, that's probably not good with the freeze coming in.
Oh, we just keep it inside the garage.
All of the other apple trees are $25 with the taxes in. So that's a pretty good deal. And we've gotten all of our trees from here, and they've done really, really good. What is this one? Well, some of them have, not all of them. This is a redwood. I really want another Macintosh. Honeycrisp. Okay, we're in the broccoli and cauliflower section. All this is, these are strawberries. Which ones are these? These ones are Green Magic, and you get 4, and those look pretty good. So I'm gonna get 4 because mine all died. Oh, and they have romaine lettuce there too. Perfect. Steven had to go and get a cart. Well, these ones look okay. They got some weeds in them, but do you think this looks good?
Yeah.
So these are brown figs. So they grow 8 to 10 feet tall. And then the pineapple sage. I was looking at a dwarf lemon tree. Lemons have thorns.
Huh.
Okay, I'm gonna put that other
What'd you find?
Cauliflower that I got back.
What'd you find?
This tasty green cauliflower. Oh, no, I don't want the tasty green. I want the cheddar cauliflower. I'm going to put the tasty green back. We'll get the snowball. And then we've got some kohlrabi here. I still don't know how much these are. Just kind of.
Just throw in the basket kind of deal.
Yeah. I'm thinking they're $3.95 each, but I could be wrong.
So you're going to get one of these lemon trees?
No, I don't know. I don't even know how much they are.
This is a game. It's just where you put it in the cart and go. So there you go. $14.99.
Those are for those little ones, not the big ones.
Oh. Well, we're not getting one of these ginormous things.
We also have seeds here. I like to get some of my seeds here because these are all local grown ones, so I know that they'll be good. Ooh, butter beans. Maybe I'll get some of these. They got corn on the other side. Steven wants some of these. $5. We'll get some. It's not tomato season, but they grow them in the high tunnels here. This is my payback for making him help me at the greenhouse. We've been in Lowe's now, I think, for 45 minutes. There's always a price to pay. He's looking at table saws. Our timer went off. Time to get them out. We actually had one casualty. One of the jars actually fell down in here. When I took the lid off, I noticed it and put it up right away, but it may not seal because it did boil while it was on its side. Hopefully it seals, but it won't be a tragedy because then that just means it goes in the fridge and I get to eat it right now. This is what they look like. Almost looks like a grape jelly. Already starting to pop. I'm excited to get those back on my pantry shelf and get those freezer burnt blueberries out of my freezer. Still trying to clear everything out just to get ready for the spring season when we're going to be bringing everything back in. It's a cycle. And I didn't quite eat as much as I wanted to through the pantry challenge, so I'm still kind of working away at stuff and trying to clear some jars to get ready for canning season this year. So excited. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give that scrub a try if you are a gardener or even a mechanic or just have a husband that has a dirty job or you have a dirty job. That stuff is a miracle for getting your hands clean. And it doesn't dry them out either. It keeps them nice and soft because that castile soap isn't too tough on your hands. Definitely recommend trying it. So again, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.